All right. Test.
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 Four, three.
All right, welcome back to Convincing Idiots, segment 3. We talked about our, in honor of Thanksgiving, we're going to get into some food or restaurant-related scenes.
Brian. Before
Yes.
we go on, I think we'd be remiss. We have it here in the palm of our hands, and you talk about Thanksgiving and all the food we're about to eat in Thanksgiving and all of that. Whatever plates we have, maybe what's in our bowl or even what's on our saucer. Why not go to our leading expert for Convincing Idiots about flying saucers?
Ah, yes. Great idea to start there.
Physicist Tim, come on, buddy. Give us a scoop. I hear we have
speaking
some
of food and what we might be food for. The big news is Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, who was the head of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, is stepping down. He's out in December. There is an interim guy that was just beneath him. He's coming up. But before he gives this interview with Politico, and he says something cryptic and very scary to me. I don't know if anybody else, but what he said was, this is a direct quote, "If we don't prove it's aliens, then what we're finding is evidence of other people doing stuff in our backyard."
That's
so
scary.
That is highly scary. And, we went through, I know I've told you guys from before last time I was out here, the testimony in front of Congress, these guys said this is not something we know. This stuff has been declassified. So if this is not alien technology, this is foreign entities, or because we know it's not U.S. stuff because it would never have been declassified, foreign entities doing stuff in our backyard. So I think what I'm telling everybody is just be prepared. I think we're getting ready. They're inching us closer to total disclosure, and we'll find out what's going on. I, for one, believe that these are non-terrestrial objects, whether they're manned or unmanned. That's definitely something we need to just keep our eye out for.
There was some sort of higher ranked person on record saying that they believe that all these UAPs that we're seeing are just like you just said, smaller crafts or drones from a mother ship.
Well, this was Sean Kirkpatrick again. He had kind of put that out there, but it was also said by a few others who had stuff to do with Aero and everything that this is possibly drones from a mothership within our solar system or just outside our solar system. I would believe it would be if there is a mothership, it's just outside the solar system. Otherwise, our sensors would detect it inside the solar system. Let's just park behind our moon or something where we don't have anything. But the James Webb Space Telescope can slew over to look behind the moon. I mean, it's out at the Lagrangian point, sitting out there parked, just doing this deep space stuff, so it can turn around and look.
Let's put our tinfoil hats on for a moment. Who's to say that it's not the moon?
Well, there's that theory that the moon is hollow in the base. And one of the reasons why they believe it's hollow is because they crashed some stuff into it and it rang like a bell. Yep. So they think it's hollow. So there you go. That's the big update. So just be prepared for full disclosure coming up. I probably say within the next year or two. A secret like this, you can only keep it secret for so long. People are going to talk. Yep. And I think now it's starting to, it's all over the sky. Everybody's seeing it. We have surveillance from everybody. You got the Starlink stuff up there that can be easily seen. That's Elon Musk. So you have cameras pointed at the sky. Everybody's carrying a camera. So eventually, if the government's hiding it, they're going to have to bring it out and say, okay, we know what this stuff is, whether it's non-human biologics or not.
Right.
So that's the update.
Well, we appreciate it. It is appreciated and informative, Tim. Ladies and gentlemen, our astrophysicist, Tim. We appreciate it.
That's right. There are those who call me Tim.
Well, Frank, I don't think I'll be one. Very good. All right. Brian, back to you were talking, weren't you?
Yes, that's okay. No, very, very interesting.
We weren't listening, but I know you.
Sure.
I saw your lips moving.
Yep. Yeah, I get it.
Don't let him fool you, Dean. Don't let Dean fool you, Brian. I was listening.
Oh,
thank you.
Isn't that sweet?
Thank you.
Yeah, he's my bro.
Thank you. You too, brother. Okay, so we'll get into our final segment here, guys. So,
I'm contractually obligated to be here.
That's right. Especially since the Daniel Radcliffe arrangement fell through.
Yeah, that
we talked about
last week. Really shitty negotiation skills.
Yes, that's right. Anyway, in honor of Thanksgiving, we thought an interesting topic would be
bed.
Sure, that's right. Yeah, it'd be her Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Somebody's getting their turkey stuffed.
Sure.
Oh, man.
Sure. Well, so let's get into some of our favorite scenes in movies. Again, it could be set in a restaurant. It could be around food related of some sort, whatever. So it doesn't have to be your top 5 of all time, but definitely 5 of your favorites that would make your personal idiot Mount Rushmore of scenes. So, Dee, why don't we start with you, sir? What is one on your list?
Well, I'm going to go my number 1 of all time. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. The scene around the table, Christmas Eve night.
So good.
I mean, you could probably honestly do a whole short film just playing that out more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very quotable. It ends with the tree catching on fire, leading into the squirrel thing. It's just, it is the perfect Christmas movie, and it's my favorite scene in that movie. From the dog to Uncle Eddie, Cousin Eddie, I guess you should say.
Mm-hmm.
You serious, Clark? It's just a beautiful scene.
The whole grace scene when she says the Pledge of Allegiance, and the cat food and the Jello food fighting, the dry turkey where the turkey just completely folds up. Right. Oh my God!
She explodes in crying.
Yeah, so good. Definitely, there's scenes of that, like you said, around the dinner table. Somebody has had
the blessing. Say the blessing.
Some clip of that
died in 43.
That's right. Some clip of that dinner is taking place at many family homes in one way, shape, or form. I'm quite certain.
Yeah.
Around the holidays. Yeah, I'm with you. I love it. All right, Tim, what do you got? What's one of your favorite scenes?
I'm gonna have to go back to John Belushi in Animal House in the cafeteria.
Very good.
The brilliancy of that was that he ad-libbed a lot of stuff in that when he sucked down all the Jello, stuffed his mouth with stuff, put stuff in his pockets. That wasn't written in the script, from what I understand. That was ad-libbed, improv by him. So he keep your hands away from his mouth when he feeds. That's just that's beautiful. I'm a zit, get it. Who hasn't performed that in high school at some point? So
right.
I love it. See, the food fight at the end of that is great.
Oh, It is.
Yeah.
Oh, the horse and the horse sound that Belushi makes with Niedermeyer. If you didn't laugh at that, you just don't have a sense of humor. I mean, that was just Belushi was just a comedic genius.
If you go back and watch
with
it,
that movie.
the look of those guys around the table when he says, when he goes into the zit joke,
Yeah.
like the look in the face, you can tell, like, especially going back now, hindsight, you can tell that it's improv because, like, they're waiting, like they have no clue what's about to happen.
Right.
Well, when she says that boy's a pig, pig, and then he stuffs his mouth, says, "Guess what I am now?" He stuffs his mouth, and
Go
Otter
ahead.
was sitting there, and you saw the look on his face, like, well, he did. He had that look. What the hell's he going to do?
Yeah.
And poof, everything. That was beautiful.
Tim Matheson.
Tim
Matheson. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, that's that movie and that scene. It sticks with me to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Good
I didn't
stuff.
think about that. That's a good one.
That's good.
Ryan, what about you?
Well,
first on your list.
Yeah, you guys, I have two. That was all my honorable mention, Tim. That scene there from Animal House, and then Dee and I also had the Christmas Vacation dinner on my list. So I'll pick a different one here. The Big Kahuna Burger scene from Pulp Fiction, but that scene is just that movie in general is so well shot. But just the scene, the kids obviously, if you know the scene, if you've seen Pulp Fiction, if you haven't seen it for some weird reason, you should watch that movie. But just how it's shot, he has to take a bite of the kid's burger, talking about the Big Kahuna Burger, the Hawaiian burger joint, grabs the kid's burger and just has a close-up of his hand grabbing the burger, kind of smushing it a little bit. You hear the sound of the burger kind of smushing, eats a huge bite of it, drinks the rest of the guy's Sprite, and then, of course, inevitably shoots him dead after that as well. So, and there's so many other things in that movie as well. You get in the different scenes as well, which I won't get into. But that scene there, I just one of my favorite food-related scenes.
I mean,
of all time.
Cinematography wise, just the lighting upon everything in that scene itself, from like Samuel L. Jackson's hair, and then to like the light coming down, just showing the fear on the kid's face.
Yeah.
To the sound in that scene, from the slurping of the drink to, like you said, the crushing of the burger, like everything is it's a perfect scene in a damn near perfect movie.
Yeah, you're right.
Quentin, when you think of that movie, there's two things I think of. It's Quentin Tarantino for one. It was well, I don't know if that was his first movie, but it was certainly, he redefined what cinema was going to look like. I'll forever remember that a Big Mac is not called a Big Mac in France. It's La Royale. I thought it was La Royale.
Quarter pounder.
Oh, quarter
pounder,
pounder is
right.
the Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
Right. Royale with cheese. That's right.
They don't have the metric
fucking
system.
metric system.
Yep. Yeah, Big Mac was just La Big Mac.
Right.
Yeah. Good stuff. Who is next?
What was the
Tim?
I didn't go to fucking Burger King.
Yeah, I didn't go to Burger King.
Oh, I'm up.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go with Meg Ryan. And when Harry Met Sally, doing the fake orgasm, and then Rob Reiner's mother sits there and says, "I'll have what she's having."
Yeah,
Who hasn't dreamt of having a lunch like that?
Right.
So
I constantly dream about having Rob Reiner's mother be involved in my sexual fantasies.
Sure.
I figured you did, Dean. I did.
Yeah. You've seen her. I mean, come on.
She's dead now.
I'm going to stick with my answer.
Peppermint Patty's invited herself, Marcy, and Franklin over for Thanksgiving dinner.
Don't you know anything about Thanksgiving dinners?
Thanksgiving is more than eating. We should just be thankful for being together.
A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, sponsored by McDonald's. Nobody can do it like McDonald's can. And by Dolly Madison, bakers of all kinds of neat-to-eat treats.
Meg Ryan, great in that scene. You're right. Very, very good.
These actresses go in and get all this work done. It's just, fuck, you're beautiful. Why you have to fuck with it?
Right.
And that's any woman. I don't care if you're famous or not famous. You don't need to fuck with perfection.
You got.
Unlike
Besides,
you, Brian.
besides
You need
Meg
to get
Ryan.
work done. You need to get work done.
I do need to get work done. I'm not going to get any cosmetic work, but I'm probably going to get more tattoo work. How about that? So,
tell me more.
Yeah. Got some recently from our partners our sponsors. I would say sponsor at Golden Heart Tattoo. Find them in Norton, Ohio at Golden Heart Norton and ORTON on Facebook. Give them a call at 234-706-2982. Find them online, goldenhearttattoos.com. No cosmetic work, but they will do some fine artwork on your body to make you feel younger and all that good stuff. So go find them in Norton, Golden Heart Tattoo.
Well done.
There you go. There you go.
All right. I'm going on my number 2. I mean, wow, we're running along here. My number 2 is going to be When Harry Met Sally was on there, so I'll move past that. I'm gonna go with the ending of the Avengers in the diner.
Oh yeah.
The diner scene of all them tired from fighting all day.
Post-credit scene.
Yep. Post-credit scene of them in the diner. And one of the fun things about that is
Tony Stark.
Chris Evans. It was like a comeback and reshoot scene.
Okay.
And Chris Evans was already doing a movie, so he grew a beard. He had to grow a beard for the movie. And so if you look in that scene, he's not eating, and he has his fist up to his face because he's hiding the beard.
Ah, okay.
So he's the only one that doesn't say anything or move because he can't, because he's trying to hide the beard.
Okay. Food. What are they eating? What's schmar? What was it called again? What are they eating again?
Yeah, they're fighting outside of it earlier.
And Tony Stark says, "I want to go try that place sometime."
Yes.
And then that's where they're eating it's all in rubble and everything at the end. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good scene.
Yeah.
Kind of
Good
humanizes
stuff.
them all together. Like, you know, Thor being the god of thunder, and all these guys are destroying and killing, and then you see them kind of just exhausted. Like, show what a superhero does. What do they do after they win the battle? They eat food at a diner.
Another scene for me is from Goodfellas. There's a couple scenes in this movie. There's a couple you could go with here. I just love the scene when they're in the restaurant, in the club. The whole scene with Joe Pesci, where they're all at the table. They just kind of finish dinner, and they're talking and just telling stories and all that. And Ray Liotta, who played Henry Hill in the movie, makes a comment to Joe Pesci how funny he is. And you know that whole scene from there. Yeah. Joe Pesci was just fantastic in this movie, start to finish, in my opinion. But that scene, he did a great job just putting you you were just uneasy in that scene. At any moment you thought he could pull a gun out and, funny like a clown and all that stuff. So
he did pull a gun out.
That's right, he sure did. Yeah. And somewhere right before that scene, the owner came over, was asking him to pay the bill and all that stuff. So he threatened the owner. Just that whole club scene was just fabulous. It really puts you at that table with those mobsters and that lifestyle there for just a few moments there. So that was really cool scene. And there you go. I'll just stop there. I'll talk about the other one in my honorable mention from that movie. But there you go. Funny house scene from Goodfellas.
Funny house.
Am I a clown to you? Am I here to make you laugh?
That's right.
How am I funny?
No one accuses us of being funny.
No.
You know what I mean? Yep. Tim, what's next on your list?
We try.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to have to go to an iconic TV show that I absolutely loved, and I've watched it all 12 seasons 3 times now. And that's going to be from season 5, episode 9 of Cheers, called The Thanksgiving Orphans, where they had a
That was a
Thanksgiving
good one.
dinner,
Yes.
and it devolved into the best food fight.
Yeah.
Just watching Fraser Crane in that food fight was just, it was great. And that is the one episode, despite all the normisms and everything from Cheers, that was probably one of the best episodes of Cheers. That's just Cheers. I've been to the Bull and Finch, and I was expecting it to be like Cheers. It was nothing like it, but I can actually say
It's still nice. Yeah.
I had a beer in the Bull and Finch that was while Cheers was on TV when I was stationed in Massachusetts. We went to Boston, went to the Bull and Finch, got a shirt and everything.
We were there this past spring.
At the Bull and Finch?
Yeah.
It's a little
yeah, it was nice. We ate lunch there, and yeah, it was good.
But I got to have a beer there, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's very cool. You get the picture outside of the original Cheers, outside B-roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It was very cool.
Excellent. Dean, what else you got?
All right, I'm gonna go. My number 3 is Ocean's 11. Now, you ask yourself, there's no dinner scene in Ocean's 11, but it's a fun little thing about the movie. Brad Pitt is eating in every scene he is in. It was an acting choice that he made, but in every single scene, he is eating something.
That glass breaking thing again. I never really realized that.
Right. Yeah. If you go back and watch it, he's eating in every scene, one way or the other. He's eating something. So, and it's just a fun little Easter egg. That you can pull out and let people know that a little something about cinema, right? And you don't even have to give me the credit on that. Tell them that you're smart enough to know it on your own.
I love Bill Murray in this movie. One of my favorite Bill Murray movies, Groundhog Day.
Oh, yeah.
There's a great scene where he's spending a lot of time in that diner. There's many scenes in the local diner there, but there's one scene in particular where he is now out. Yes, exactly. That's it. He has fully embraced the fact that he's stuck there, and he's trying to tell her that he's a god, and he like you say, he's eating everything. The table is just...
I'm a god.
A god, that's right. Table's just full of dishes. He's eating donuts because he realizes it doesn't matter what he eats. He's going to come back the next day.
Yep.
And then he goes around in that whole scene as well. He describes who each person is, what's going on.
Yep.
There's going to be a dishes fall over here in a second, and really gets her attention like, wow, this is really, really happening here. So that whole scene is fantastic.
Whole movie's great.
Yeah, absolutely. So the diner scene when he's picking out in Groundhog Day, Bill Murray.
I saw a Twitter, somebody tweeted, and it's a great idea. They should do on Groundhog's Day every year. They should release the sequel and it says Groundhog's Day 2, and then they just play the original movie every single time.
There you go.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yep.
Although if Groundhog Day happened to me like that, I would want to do it on a day that they drew the lottery numbers, so I could get the numbers, play them the next time I go through, win it, and then just keep playing it, keep winning it, so that when I come out of the loop, I win the lottery.
Yeah, well, but you got to learn a lesson. I think that's the art of these loop theories and the time travel movies like that is you have to morally learn a lesson. So I'm never going to get out of that loop.
Yeah, he had to. Learn a lesson to get out of it. Yep.
The lesson is get rich.
To find true love. To find true love. That was kind of his thing, I guess.
I'll never want to find true love. Women.
What else you got, Tim?
You can't live with them, and they can't pee standing up.
That's right. That's right.
Can't live with them. The other one, I'm going to have to go with another TV show, a sitcom, Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
Festivus. Happy Festivus, everyone.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Around the kitchen
Yeah.
table.
When they're sitting around the table, they're sitting at the table, and you got this feats of strength,
Right.
and the airing of grievances. Now, I got a bone to pick with some of you. You really. It actually started a new thing. I mean, there would be people at work say Festivus for the rest of us.
People have parties now.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
There's,
They have
there's an
Festivus
actual
parties.
date. There's an actual date that's recognized as Festivus.
I believe it's
Um,
December 26th.
Okay. But yeah, people have Festivus parties. Like people get together for an actual whole. They bring the pole.
Yeah.
You know, they
I've been
sell
to some.
Festivus poles. Yeah, that's very cool.
Yep.
I wonder how many people end up how the emergency room does the day after Christmas, after the feats of strength
Right.
is performed. How many people actually end up in the emergency room after that? I wonder
It'd be a
if
little rough.
the emergency room departments are actually saying, it's Festivus, we're going to be busy today.
A lot
Very
of people
possible.
getting hurt. A lot of people getting hurt.
That's right. Am I up?
No, I believe it's me.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I'm gonna go with my number 4. Rocky wakes up in the morning. What's the first thing he does? Pounds 2 raw eggs right down his stupid gullet, and it
2?
made.
Was it like a dozen?
I thought it was like 6.
Yeah, like 6 eggs.
6 seems a lot. Actually,
Maybe
if
that's
you
the Mandela
if you eat a dozen eggs, different other things will happen, and we'll talk about that later in my honorable mentions. But as for Rocky, he put a bunch in a glass and drank them, and it started this whole craze in the 70s and 80s. I know my uncle used to do it. He was into bodybuilding. He would crack open a shit ton of raw eggs and drink them whole. I mean, I couldn't imagine. I don't know about you guys, but as a child, I tried it.
Never did.
It couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it. Like physically, I just could not swallow.
No.
Yeah, once it hit like the back of my throat, I was like a drunk prom
I
date.
can't stand runny eggs either. I like them over easy. I just don't like them running. So
there ain't much runnier than that.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So we'll curse Rocky for everybody at least trying it once. At least the youth in that era.
Yeah.
And the salmonella that everybody incurred.
Okay. Dean's skills have gotten better since Tim. We'll just say that.
Oh yeah. I can swallow a lot more things better than that. Totally.
You just open up that throat, don't you, Dean?
That's right. You're working with a professional here.
That's right. I had another scene from is really a whole episode theme, food, Seinfeld as well. Tim, Seinfeld has a lot. There's a lot of good food. They have tons of scenes, obviously, in the diner. That was a key.
From Soup Nazi
play.
to the black and white cookie.
And that's it right there, Soup Nazi. That whole episode.
I just love that episode.
Yeah, just a great episode, obviously. Everybody's so stressed out how to order soup properly from the, quote, Soup Nazi. The guy that played the Soup Nazi was great. Is a certain way to order the soup, and if you messed it up, you got your privileges revoked. No soup for you. Great line in that series that a lot of people know, certainly to this day. So, yeah, the Soup Nazi episode in general, fantastic.
It was funny. Me and Julius were in Subway the other day, and he ordered stuff, and I said, "Why don't you just order it right? It's right there on the thing. Just order it right." I said, "Maybe she could be the sub-Nazi and say, no soup for you." And he looked at me. He's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, different generation.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're a Zoomer.
Yep. Tim, any more, sir?
Yeah, I got one more.
Is that our 5? Is that our 5?
This will be our 5th right now.
Okay.
I got one more.
I've got one.
I'm going way back on this one to Paul Newman. Wonderful picture, because we've all said it. What we have here is a failure to communicate. And that would be Cool Hand Luke. The sweatiest, not only the boiled eggs that he ate,
50.
but it's the sweatiest movie of all time, as referenced in Cheers. Yes.
Very good. Dean?
Yeah, if you eat 50 eggs in general, I think that's the end result. Hard boiled, if you're swallowing them like Rocky, that's the end result.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to actually pick right off from my honorable mentions because you guys had Harry Met Sally. You know what? This will be fun. I always enjoyed it when I was a kid. The Great Outdoors. You guys remember that movie?
Oh yeah,
Oh, the steak challenge.
The old 96er.
Yeah.
John Candy returning to the show. Trying to eat the 96-ounce steak without throwing up or tapping out, and just like his performance of just sweating and just how uncomfortable and disgusted he felt, and it was so funny. That whole movie's great. So yeah, the old 96er from The Great Outdoors.
Excellent.
Is my number 5.
So that's all. We've all done 5 now, yeah?
I've got honorable mentions, a lot of them.
I got honorable.
Okay.
I just have a few honorables.
That's fine. Okay. So I've done my 5. One honorable mention for me is I'll go back to Goodfellas as well. The scene is Henry Hill's first date with his eventual wife. That whole scene is fantastic, where you really get the end of the. Also, again, you're right in that life, and certainly was told the story of him on the rise until he fell, whatever. But they go in the back door of the restaurant. It's just the camera follows them through the entire scene. So they walk in the back door, through the kitchen, the whole thing. They go out through the crowd. They meet the owner, and they go all the way out, and the people come out with a table, and they set the table up. They bypass all the people in the front. They set up a new table just for the two of them to sit down. Guy orders him a drink, and he's there. He's like treated like royalty practically. And then there's Henny Youngman right there on the stage, right in front of him. That whole scene in that restaurant, and she's like, "What do you do again?" And he's like, "I'm in construction or something," but just shot beautifully in that restaurant. Love that scene.
See, I thought you were gonna go with the when they went back, they killed the guy, and they went back to Joe Pesci's home.
That's another good scene. Well, the dinner table.
The old woman is actually Martin Scorsese's mother. But they're sitting there talking, and he said, "Do you need this? I want to take this. You need this?" And he's taking the knife. So that's where I thought you was going to go with Arnold Mitchell. I totally forgot about the whole nightclub scene.
Yeah, that's a great scene too. Mom making them dinner. You got to eat.
I mean, they just killed a guy. He just killed a made man, and they're sitting around, eating dinner because their mom made it. And, I couldn't imagine being a mobster like that. I mean, how sociopathic and psychotic can you be?
That's exactly I think what's supposed to depict and show the audience just how everyday this was for them. Like how nonchalant you had to be to do, like you said, sociopathic to do such things.
There you go. Who's next, Tim? Any honorable mentions?
There was the pony. If you remember the pony, I don't like people with the pony. I had the pony when I was a kid.
Oh, at the dinner table talking about that?
Yeah, dinner table.
Dinner. Yep.
Yeah, and then there was the marble rye. Give me that old bag. Right. He really wanted that marble rye. So.
Well, you even have the waiting in the front foyer of the dining room. The restaurant.
Chinese restaurant.
The Chinese restaurant. Yeah.
Great.
10 minutes.
Iconic. Am I paused here?
No, you're good.
You're fine now, but you did freeze for a second.
Okay. That episode was so important to TV in general because it was a big fight within the network about getting it on air because they read the script and go, "What do you mean? It's just a whole episode in just one scene? Like it's an uncut one scene." And they had to fight for it. But once they did, the ratings were like huge, and it was like one of those episodes that like broke them out of that mid-card status.
Yep.
And like started projecting them, upwards in the ratings.
It was a show about nothing. That episode was like an everyday life where people were in a restaurant. Everybody could relate to that.
And just bullshit with their friends waiting to get a table.
Yep. Great episode in general. You're right.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right.
Dean?
My let's see. I'm gonna go with how iconic is. All you have to say is one word, and you know the scene, you know the movie. Baby Ruth.
Goonies.
Goonies.
No, yeah, it was Goonies.
When Chunk,
I said Rocky Road. Rocky Road.
Right. Okay, you're right. You're right on that. But he gave him in the scene that I'm talking about. They're eating the Baby Ruth.
That's right. Yeah.
That I have it written down, Baby Ruth, because he feeds him the Baby Ruth. But yes, it's in the same scene. They're feeding each other kind of food.
Goonies is just that's a quintessential Gen X movie.
Yeah, from the eating the Rocky Road to the feeding him the Baby Ruth and him throwing it where he just misses it and he can't reach it, and that's why he breaks the chains. And yeah, it took the monster in that movie that you thought was going to be a monster and made him not only human but like
the
on
hero.
His road. Yeah, on the road at that moment to be the hero later. Yeah. So Goonies, Baby Ruth.
There you go.
Goonies was great.
I got one more on my list. And I hadn't seen this movie in quite some time. I went back and watched it within the last year or two. Ratatouille in the Pixar. I think it's Pixar. It's on Disney Plus. You can find that movie now. So again, this is the movie where the rat is the chef and befriends the kid who's trying to learn how to cook and he wants to make it as a chef. And it turns out it's the rat teaching him and how to cook and everything. That. Almost the entire movie certainly is food related. It's set in the kitchen of the restaurant in Paris. It's just if you haven't seen this in a while, go back and check this out. Just a very nice, warm, touching movie, funny, and certainly the whole thing's about a kid trying to make it as a cook. Of course, he eventually does with his friend the rat. Very good stuff. All the scenes in the kitchen, them cooking and everything, the stress and everything going on, and all the preparation, everything is just great. So, Ratatouille. There you go.
I do have to throw a shout out to one TV show that was The Big Bang Theory. I'm an astrophysicist. I'm a little bit of a nerd, and but the fact that they would sit around their coffee table and eat and criticize each other, crack jokes, all those scenes I thought were really good. They were very funny, but it was the last episode when they were playing the Bare Naked Ladies acoustic of the Big Bang Theory theme song, and they're sitting there with the Nobel Prize medals, and the whole cast is sitting around that table eating. When you think of that, you think about people coming together through food, and it started out with Penny coming in and eating their food. It ended with everybody sitting there eating food after all this big stuff happened. So I had to put a shout out there.
Yeah,
Big Bang Theory was probably one of the better written shows of the modern time that I can think of.
I like that.
Very good. Dean, anymore?
Even if you don't get the science, if you have any questions, just ask me. I can tell you a little bit about it.
I'll ask you here after I give my. I'm gonna do a run through real quick because I have a lot. I just kept going on this list. I have Pulp Fiction, the $5 shake.
Sure.
All right, I gotta see what it tastes. What a $5 shake tastes like. And then it leads to them dancing, the iconic dance. I have the entire fucking movie of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Not only does he murder kids, He murders all these children, but he gives them tasty candy before he does it.
The original or both?
The original. The original.
The original.
No, the Johnny Depp one was dog shit.
Nope.
The Animal House. No, I crossed that out because you had the Animal House one. Home Alone. Home Alone, where he's pigging out and watching the mobster movies when he realized.
Oh, the big Sunday.
Yeah,
that was great. Yep.
And then I have one of those iconic lines in cinema history: "Life is like a box of chocolates." You have this simple Forrest Gump sitting on that bench, eating some of those chocolates, telling his life story.
And Bubba Gump shrimp.
Absolutely. So you telling me, boy, I've been sitting here talking to the richest man in Alabama? Oh, I've heard a lot of whoppers in my day, sir, but they're the biggest.
I got a picture.
Right? And then finally, the last one, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. When he builds that goddamn mashed potato.
That's important.
Oh, it's so cool.
Devil's Tower. Yep.
Yeah. I love it. He didn't eat it, but he went crazy. His kids left him, but goddamn it, he got to meet aliens. So
that's a good
I told you. I think I told you guys when I went to Devil's Tower. I actually sat there and I saw it and I said, "This is important," and nobody got it with the reference. And I had to look at it and say, "Close Encounters of the Third Kind."
Yeah, if somebody doesn't get that reference, Tim, you don't need to be friends with them.
Well, they were younger. It was college. They were younger than me. Because I started college late. I went to college late in life. Well, I was in my 30s.
Okay.
So,
gotcha.
Any more, Tim?
No, I think I'm good, man. But we've been talking about food for so long. I'm starting to get a little hungry.
Well, guys, like any good meal, unfortunately, it must come to an end. As we are coming to an end of another episode of Convincing Idiots. So, on behalf of all of us, and I know Nick would say this if he was here as well, we want to wish you and yours a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We are thankful for you out there. We're going to take a break the week of Thanksgiving and rest and enjoy some extra time with our loved ones and also Dean. And we'll come back to you with a new episode in early December. And just as a reminder, it's also because I forgot to do it at the beginning of the episode because our millennial, it's normally his job, and I forgot to do it this week. We're going to remind you where you can find us. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. It can be found on all major podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. Wherever you listen to podcasts, find the Convincing Idiots podcast. Give us a free follow or subscribe. And as we publish new episodes, they'll pop into your feed free of charge. You might be watching us on our YouTube channel at Convincing Idiots. And also on our new YouTube Music channel as well. Find the new YouTube Music app. Download that for free. Follow the Convincing Idiots podcast there. And on the YouTube app, you can listen only if you wish, like a podcast, or you can watch the videos as normal as you would on our YouTube channel as well. All show information can be found in two main places: our Linktree page. Simply Google Linktree Convincing Idiots. Simply a page that links to our social media, etc. And if you go one place, go to the website, convincingidiots.wordpress.com. All information is there. Ways to sponsor the show, our merch store, links to new episodes, videos, bios, all there on the website. And again, thank you very much. We hope to see you back in December. Peace and love. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Hey, Dean with Convincing Idiots. Brian and Nick here. Like and subscribe.